What's up guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to Steal the Spotlight. Today I really felt like doing some thrift related content, but I don't know, I didn't want to do a haul video. I actually tried filming a come thrifting with me and wow, it was the biggest fail you guys would have ever seen. So instead we're here serving some head to toe looks from the thrift store that are actually inspired by really popular, trendy brands that you would pay a lot more money for if you were actually shopping them directly. But the glory of the fashion industry constantly recycling trends means that you can also recycle the clothes and shop secondhand and still look totally on trend and stylish for this season. My biggest tip if you are trying out thrifting is, I mean, it's kind of a contradiction because hey, hi, hello, I am a Libra. It's what we're good at, but the first step is keeping an open mind. Don't go in with something too specific because if you're only looking for one thing, you're gonna miss out on a bunch of other cool stuff that's there, and also chances are if they don't have that one specific item, you're gonna leave kind of frustrated and defeated. So I never think that that's a good way to go about it, but then also on the other hand, I do recommend going in with just some sort of loose inspiration in the back of your mind, because obviously when you go to a secondhand store, there's just a bunch of different stuff all rummaged together, as opposed to when you shop in like a mall or something where they lay out the mannequins, they have the trends and just everything kind of done for you. Whereas at the thrift store, you really have to use your own imagination and creativity to come away with some sick outfits. So if there's a particular brand that you've been really interested in lately, I would just recommend kind of going through their Instagram and becoming familiar with the kind of key items that really makes that brand them, which is what I'm going to go through with the 5 brands I chose out today. So the first one I tried recreating was Eunice, and I think that this is a really simple one to try and achieve at the thrift store because obviously they take a lot of their inspiration from the 90s, so chances are you can find the authentic pieces that they are actually inspired by originally. Eunice often does that kind of like ugly, dirty green shade as well, at least they always used to. And also for them, you can either go for a very oversized look or something cropped. This one, unfortunately, was like an awkward middle length, so I ended up just hacking it off. When it comes to bottoms, you've got a ton of options. You could go for a really 90s pair of mum jeans, some kind of like fit and flare plaid trousers, just plain little black skirts, or in this case, I went for this authentic 90s white denim mini skirt. Even all of the accessories are thrifted. The sunglasses, mini backpack, and the eyelet belt are all things that retail stores are charging like a fortune for at the moment. For me though, the standout is definitely the boots. This is probably still my best thrift find ever. They look almost identical to the rock boots that are like over $200. I found these for only $10 in just about perfect condition. I will say that these are the exception, not the rule though, because usually shoes are the hardest thing to find. So this was a case of me just happening to luck out that day, which actually moves in well to the next one because this is the only look where I have one item that isn't thrifted, and it is indeed the shoes, because I wanted to wear sneakers and I never find like sneakers in good condition at the thrift store. But anyway, this one is inspired by Tommy jeans, and this is also kind of opening your eyes to maybe try vintage shopping as well, which obviously is going to be more expensive than just going to your local thrift store. But sometimes if there's a certain piece that you really want, I do find that it is worth investing. For me, in this case, it was this pair of secondhand Tommy Hilfiger jeans. I absolutely love the style and cut of these. It's not something that I've ever just come across op shopping, and also not really a silhouette that I see too much on fast fashion retailers at the moment either. Despite the jeans actually being legit Tommy Hilfiger, I think it's actually the puffer vest that really brings the look together and screams Tommy jeans. Obviously, it has that reversible red and navy blue colorway, which is exactly bang on brand. But yeah, this sort of puffer style has obviously been really popular across the board for like the last few seasons now, and I've managed to pick up like 3 or 4 from the thrift, and also seen like at least a dozen more that I just have to say no to because it is not necessary at this point. It feels like it has been everyone's favorite brand on Instagram for like past couple of years. It is of course IMG Art, which, side note, I tried to get their Instagram up yesterday and I could not find it at all. So I don't know what the hell was happening there, or if mine is just glitching out, but I went onto their website instead, and it seems as though their latest collection has a very kind of like early 2000s Coyote Ugly moment. I personally would say at my local stores, the most common thing to come across is just like tacky early 2000s shit. So that is perfect for a brand and trend like this. Things that come to mind for this brand would have to be faux fur, leather, cami tops, having stomach showing, kind of like fit and flare pants. This zip up fluffy trimmed cardigan I probably thrifted almost 2 years ago, and it is still one of my most worn items in my closet. I will say that pants can be a little bit more difficult to find than skirts or dresses, just because it's not easy to find the right fit for you, but you just have to be patient in that one, and eventually a little gem will come along, like this pair of faux leather ones. Okay, next is actually a really simple one. I took inspiration from Reformation. Obviously they are a very sustainable brand, which is great, but not everyone can afford them. But thankfully their style is quite simple, and since it does have that vintage sort of flair to it, you can usually find some similar things, and you could either opt for a floral dress, which usually you do come across quite a few, but I decided to go even more casual and just go for a jeans and blouse look. This is a pair of light wash vintage Levi's that I found for only like $8 or something. When I think of Reformation, it also reminds me of Ashley from Best Dressed, so I decided to kind of like picnic bitch this up with a little scarf tied around as my waist belt, and also this amazing thrifted bag. My mum found this for me for only $2. Absolutely insane. I swear places are charging like at least $50 for this sort of thing last summer. Last but not least, I of course saved my favorite, which is inspired by Style Nanda. My favorite thing about them is just the way that they layer so many different pieces in unique ways. So that's definitely what I tried to emulate here today. I know sometimes I can get carried away trying to find like that special standout piece, but don't overlook the basics that can really help build your wardrobe. Turtlenecks I see a lot of at the thrift, and honestly you can style them with just about anything, no matter what your personal style is. And blazers coming back into fashion, and that suiting trend in general is honestly a godsend for anyone who shops secondhand, because I can guarantee you there will always be at least one blazer, especially if you love the oversized look. For this outfit I decided to go for a very warm color palette with the browns, neutrals, creams. It's something that Style Nanda does a lot, and it's also probably the most common one that you will find at the thrift. Since the blazer was kind of wrapped shut, it almost took on more of a shirt roll than an outerwear piece, which allowed me to throw on an extra layer, which again, one of my all-time favorite finds, this trench coat. I think the detail of the pants being corduroy really adds to it, and also I feel like their models are almost always wearing some form of headwear, so I decided to throw on the beret just to finish it off. Those were the 5 brands I chose today, but hit me up in the comments if you guys enjoyed this, what ones you would like to see in the future. I think I mentioned maybe doing more of a high-end version, so like Versace and Chanel, but let me know any ideas that you guys have too. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration to go and hit up your thrift stores. I also apologize if I said the word thrift like a billion times in this video. Please forgive me, and hopefully I'll see you next time.